Hi there, my name's Jay. Welcome to my new channel, For What It's Worth. Now the idea behind this channel is really super simple. I've been around for a while, 50 plus years. And during that time, I've had a bunch of jobs. I've owned 2 or 3 businesses. I've coached kids. And along the way, I've made a bunch of mistakes. But on the flip side, I've learned a lot of really valuable lessons. And I think that it's worth passing that on. And so here we are. Now, the easiest way for me to kind of share that is to use it as an example in physics. And I know what you're thinking. You're going, how can any example in physics make something easier to understand? Well, just bear with me here. Newton's third law, and that is that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. If it's true in physics, it must be true in life, and it actually is that we make decisions, and each one of those decisions has a consequence. Now, some of those consequences are good and some of them are bad, but there's always one. Now, if you've been around long enough and you're observant and you pay attention, you'll usually see those consequences coming before they actually arrive. Now, that's not every time, but it is most of the time. And that's what this channel is about, it's about those observations. It's about the stories. It's about how I have seen things play out, sometimes really good and sometimes really bad. And then what I actually learned from it. We'll also talk about some things that has to do with work. We'll talk about stuff that has to do with family. And we'll talk about how the world treats people that walk into stuff that they don't even know they're ready for. And we'll probably talk about stuff people didn't expect about a guy like me. But it's all connected eventually. Now, out there in the world today, right now, there's probably somebody going through something that I myself have already gone through. It could be you and you're getting ready to step in it. Or it could be you and you're in the middle of it right now. Or it could be you and you have just gone through it and you're looking back going, what just happened? Now, my hope for the channel is that any of the stuff that I share helps you to stack the deck in your favor. And if it does, then I consider that a win. Now, all the things that I talk about on this channel, it's probably nothing new. And, honestly, I think it probably isn't. People have been around for a long time. And we have been on different continents with different cultures, different countries, different religions. But the one thing that has been true with all of them is they have elders. They have an older generation that passes information down. And that is stories and lessons and traditions, things that you wouldn't normally learn through a book. And people come and seek those people out because they want the knowledge and information. And really those people don't have all the answers. And to be honest is that half the time, what they do share feels more like a riddle than it does good advice. But it comes from a perspective of trying to help and put somebody on the right path to make the best possible decision. And when you go down the road a little ways, is that person sits in a situation, it's a high stakes situation, a decision that they're really sweating. And then all of a sudden, that riddle comes to mind. And there's total clarity and it makes complete sense. And it wasn't because the riddle was the solution, but it provided them some guidance on how to make a choice, one that they probably wouldn't have made on their own. Now that's kind of what I think about where we are in society today, is that we have a bunch of people out there that have great information, have lived great lives and have great stuff to share. And they don't because either they don't feel comfortable doing it, or nobody's asked, or they think that the information they have to share, nobody values. And then you have the other side where you have a bunch of people that could really benefit from that information, and either they don't know how to ask, they're afraid to ask, or they could be wrong and think that the information that those people have doesn't apply to them today. And so what I'm hoping is to be kind of the bridge to that gap, is to, on the channel, is share some of those things. And full disclosure, I am no expert by any means, but what I am is a person who has lived through a lot of really good decisions and who has lived through a lot of really bad decisions. And I've taken some really big risks that have paid off, and I've taken more risks that haven't. And what I've found through that whole thing and living through it all is that there's patterns emerge. It seems like it's always the same mistakes. It's always the same successes, and there's different people under different circumstances, but it's still the same outcomes. And so that's kind of what this channel, what I'm hoping to provide from this channel. It's not advice. I'm not here to give advice to anybody, but I am here is to share my experiences so that I've already lived through, because maybe it will help you, maybe it won't, and only time will tell. So if you've made it to this channel or to this video, I'd love to hear how you got here. So in the comments section, put your comments about how you got here, because I'd love to read those. If you see some value in what I'm talking about here, please like and subscribe, because that will help expose this to more people. Now, before I get out of here, I have spent a long time knowing a lot of things that I don't get asked about. And most people don't think to ask, or they don't listen. But you did. So thanks for stopping by, for what it's worth.